very big welcome to our third event for Race Equality Week, Lead the Change, which ties into the theme for the whole week, which is Listen, Act, Change. And I know there's hundreds of other events happening around the country. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Raj Tulsiani, Chair of Race Equality Matters, which I co-founded with Javid. And I'm also Chief Executive of Green Park, a global talent advisory firm that I'm told is an industry pioneer in building diverse leadership teams and more equitable workplace cultures. I'm proud that my board, Sir Trevor Phillips and Joe Sweetland, have put their hands in their pockets and sponsoring today's event. And thank you all for joining us at this much requested event for change makers and leaders to collaborate and learn from each other, but also to help us increase intersectional inclusion through the prism of improving race inequality. It's great to have so much interest here today. Here are just a few of the organisations that signed up. We're expecting over 400 organisations today and another few hundred in a Green Park event later on this afternoon. Many leaders will be represented from across 120 different cities and towns, including Cardiff to Cape Town, Guildford to Geneva, Milan to Madrid, and Truro to Turinanga. I do hope I pronounced that properly, in New Zealand. It clearly shows that the problem isn't fixed and the reach and appetite to collaborate and be catalysts for change is increasing. As a leader, we thank you for joining us and sharing your valuable time, and it helps demonstrate your commitment to tackling inequality for those here today and for those in your organisation who depend on your leadership for change to move past aspiration and into action. Before we start, as is traditional in a post-COVID world, a bit of housekeeping to help make our events more accessible. We want to do that. So when registering, we're asking you for if you have any accessibility arrangements so you can offer support. We'll try our best to meet those needs. Closed captioning is enabled in the main session. We also have recommended a solution for the virtual breakout rooms. You'll find the link in the chat, and we can share again later if necessary. The event is being recorded, except of course for the breakout sessions, and we will make that recording available alongside slides for everybody later on in the month. Your sound will be auto-disabled, so please share ideas and questions in the chat. We'll do our best to respond to these. The chat tends to be extremely busy after the breakout session, so heads up in advance, just in case you need to switch off sound if the pinging, etc., is not right for you. Please do tweet and post and do social media stuff, including content during and after the event, so we can create a big Race Equality Week buzz. Absolutely, we need to get to 5 million people this week. We're on track, but any help you can give us is just really deeply appreciated. The key handles are hashtag Race Equality Week 2024 and hashtag REW 2024. We can see many of you new to Race Equality Matters, so here's a quick overview of what we do and how we can help. We exist to meet needs and fill gaps in tackling intersectional inclusion via the prism of race. We provide many free solutions, resources, and tools to help leaders, change makers, allies, and generally people who want to see their organizations deliver on the promises they've already made, help those organizations. These include how to do it right, implementation guides, workshops, virtual events, and all other sorts of things that I'm very reliant on the team to deliver. But we also run a series of free virtual events throughout the year. So although our focus for collaboration with those in lived experience and pause and reflections in Race Equality Week, we're working all year round on this topic because we think it is the best way of closing the productivity gap in this country. Our network includes 1,900 race network leaders who give us great insight into what's working and what barriers they face and how we can overcome those. And this week, we've got 5,101 organisations engaged. We're pretty sure that's going to reach 5 million employees. But as I said before, anything you can do to help and participate in this free session would really be gratefully received. Crucially, our solutions are not about making people look good. They're about creating impact that can be measured, as you can see on the screen. Excuse me. All of this wouldn't be possible without the support of our partners, who, along with Green Park, are funding Race Equality Matters. A big thank you to Lloyd's of London, who've been our key partner in powering Race Equality Week alongside Green Park. And another big thank you to the Collaboratory and our lifetime visionary partner, British Telecom. Other partners include Auto Trader, HS2, Edelman, Amy, and Network Rail. Their support means we can run Race Equality Week and give you these resources for free. But we are a community interest company, a social enterprise, and not-for-profit, so we do rely entirely on funding support. So if your organisation would like to support us through funding, sponsorship, marketing opportunities, or some form of partnership, please do get in touch with myself, Javid, or the team. It's only through those commitments that we can continue to make things happen. Due to popular demand, we'll be launching a new corporate membership program very shortly. Membership will provide additional support through exclusive access to a membership hub, but also stuff like logos, exclusive events, workshops, insights, ideas, co-creation of new solutions, and free credit to our successful jobs board. There is a wait list, but we can get around to everybody within the next 4 weeks. If you'd like to join as a corporate member, it's really, really cheap. The idea is simply that it allows us to continue providing these solutions to individuals for nothing. So you could also donate as an individual. There's this QR code, please. Nothing is too little. Although we did someone give £1 once, which I didn't think was quite right, but that's just my bias. We've also put links in the chat for various other options. So today's session is going to be really lively and interactive. We've got a quick State of the Nation poll, which is part of our house style, so you know who's in the room, what people's priorities are. Some expert speakers who've been generous with their time, and we appreciate that. Collaborative discussions on 3 themes. When you get in the group, don't waste time introducing yourself, just get into the things that you want to know. So real knowledge transfer, and we want that to be dynamic. And then there's an announcement of the newest Race Equality Matters trailblazer organisations. And providing I don't talk too much, we'll finish promptly at 1:30. And as a bonus, by contributing in the next few days, you'll receive 100+ ideas and insights that we will collate from the events that we've been doing this week. So it's an hour of your time, but it can make a real difference to a lot of people. Hi, Kate. Nice to see Kate Singh from Sapphire's partner there. Also, to get us going, we're going to start with our first poll to get a snapshot State of the Nation, who's on the call. So if you can answer the following questions. If you are one of the panel, please don't touch these questions. The technology can't take it. I won't bore you with how we found out, but we found out once, and all of the grey hairs on this side are because of that.
Thank you all for taking part in this opening State of the Nation poll. So we can see today it's more or less 50-50. So 50% are allies and 48% ethnically diverse or appropriate equivalent. What's your role or position in the organisation? So 37% are senior leaders. Yeah, our highest ever, but obviously it's a leader change event. It's fantastic. You know, close to 1 in 3 here today will be senior leaders. Then 33% D&I professionals and 15% HR professionals and a further 15% race network leads. So thank you for sharing all that. Has your organisation implemented any of the following Race Equality Matters solutions? So as you can see, the 5-day challenge, half of you've done, and my name is 24% has done, and 16% the big promise. But overall, that's 62% have implemented at least one Race Equality Matters solution. So 2/3 here today have implemented at least one Race Equality Matters solution. So thank you for sharing that. How is your organisation doing in addressing race inequality? So 39% says focus on action, not just words, more or less on the border of what we typically are at. So, listen, 40% we can say, but and then 46% talks and does a little bit of action. We need to move that into the action. So less talk, more action. And then sadly, 10% saying just talks, does very little, does nothing. And then further 4% not sure. Question 5. Do you feel your senior leaders and managers are making an impact in tackling race inequality? So 59% saying a little but not enough, and then 9% saying no. Only 28% of you believe your senior leaders and managers are making an impact in tackling race inequality. So, and I'm going to assume that 28% of leaders are here today. So thank you for coming along. Have you had valued and important career advice from someone in power on numerous occasions? So let's break it down. So of the allies saying, so it's 78 out of 120, that's 65% of allies saying yes, they've had advice on numerous occasions. Ethnically diverse, it's 49%. So there's a 16% discrepancy there in career advice. That's why the first session today is all about careers advice and top tips. Do you have a senior leader or person of influence who champions and supports you in your career? So again, let's combine the figures and let's look at the allies first. So the allies is 64%. And if we look at the ethnically diverse colleagues, it's 53%. So again, 11% difference there in being championed and supported by leaders and people of influence. Question 8. Do you think your leaders know what ethnically diverse colleagues need for the organization to be racially inclusive? Again, if we look at them, allies, 28% saying yes. And if we look at ethnically diverse, and just as those that are ethnically diverse here today, it's 19%. So again, nearly 10% difference in what they believe. But everyone, less than 30% believe leaders know what ethnically diverse colleagues need for the organization to be racially inclusive. Question 9. How often do you believe microaggressions occur in your organization? If we take out the not sures and can't answer that as not sure what they are, it is a staggering 90%. 90% believe microaggressions occur in their organization. We must really think how we're tackling it. And then it then goes, how often are racial microaggressions called out or questioned by colleagues? How often are they called out? And as you can see in here, regularly is only 2%. And if you combine it with quite often, which is 7%, that's 9%. So more than 90% of the time, it's regularly or not often not called out. And question 11, to have the greatest effect and put an end to microaggressions, who should be calling out microaggressions? So it's everyone's business, which is the all of the above, is 82%. So 82%. And then the highest after that is allies not directly affected. And this reflects our events through the week where allies need to be stepping up. And then it's like 6% the person experiencing it and 5% colleagues with the same characteristics. So it's quite important to see that, those experiencing it and their same communities or peer groups shouldn't be the ones calling out. This is where allies need to step up. So thank you all for completing that, and on to the next bit. And just to respond to everyone who does, you will get copies of the results afterwards. So you will all get that. Thank you for that. So as we said, this is trying to be a bit of a game changer, and it's been requested by the community of change makers for them to hear and learn from leaders, but also an opportunity for leaders to hear and learn from people outside your organization that experience inequality. So a big thanks to Green Park for powering this event and making it possible. We believe, as we said, this is the world's biggest race equality reciprocal mentoring event. So it's fantastic that you will be part of it. Before we hear from our first speaker, just to give you a quick overview how it will work. Next slide, please. So basically, there'll be 3 virtual breakout sessions, and there'll be 12 to 15 minutes. We'll let you know, focusing on 3 different themes. So there's 1 breakout session per theme. The scene will be set before each one with a special guest speaker who will introduce you soon, whose organization is demonstrating action, not just words. The first theme, next slide, please, will be leaders sharing their career tips Second would be leaders will share what their organization are doing to tackle race inequality. And the third will change makers will share what they want leaders to do. So what we'll just do is we'll hear from our first leader, respected leader, John Neal, CBE, CEO of Lloyds, who power Race Equality Week along with Green Park. Thank you.
So Lloyds is the headline sponsor for Race Equality Week, and it is important that we show leadership in how we participate. I believe that accountability helps to move the dial, and therefore it seemed only right that I personally participate and make a big promise of my own. Firstly, when we look at pay and reward, let's ensure that equality analysis was conducted and corrective actions recommended for the next pay cycle. Secondly, how do we sponsor talent? And that was through the mentoring of 2 young black business owners of Equity City, a recruitment business focusing on diverse hiring in the Lloyds market and London, investing in them to help them grow their business. So let's deal with each one in turn. So firstly, the pay and reward equity analysis has helped us identify a number of factors influencing ethnicity pay gaps. We've taken corrective actions through our Accelerate programme, which has resulted in a number of promotions and also additional governance around performance management. And secondly, the sponsorship of Equity City. I'm really excited about this. Equity City are one of our key partners in our Inclusive Futures programme of activity. Our response to Underwriting Souls, the Black Beyond data research on Lloyd's link with transatlantic slavery. Equity are going to help us create thousands of employment opportunities for black and ethnically diverse talent over the next decade. You can find more detailed information on Inclusive Futures on our website. Culture is such an important part of any thriving business, and leadership is critical to setting culture. I'd recommend getting involved and galvanizing your organization to participate too. There are a number of great tools provided to engage your teams during Race Equality Week. And if you're part of the Lloyds market, all the tools are available from the Lloyds Hub. Participation is easy, and most importantly, it is truly impactful.
So the first breakout session is about careers and development, which leads us neatly on to our kind sponsor, Green Park, who are all about people and talent. So just a quick couple of minutes, Raj would explain how they make a difference. Raj.
Yeah, thanks, Javed. So as co-founders, we're happy to be involved with this as a minority-owned business, providing executive search, interim management, diversity consulting, and complex workforce planning solutions. No, we just want to help people get a better choice. We want to help the unusual suspects even out the playing field so they can compete on their own merits. We want organizations to work out what their target operating culture is so they can hire for culture add, not culture fit. And, you know, diversity has always been part of our own DNA. So it's great that we're able to sponsor something like this. But, you know, in 2026, it's a very different world. In 2023, our executive search teams performed okay for diverse talent. You know, 29% of executive placements and 35% of non-executive placements were from ethnic minority backgrounds. That's over about 450 placements in the year. We've also seen a strong demand for diversity, inclusion, culture and ethics consultancy, training over 3,000 people in inclusive leadership and cultural intelligence last year. But, you know, our purpose has always been about making, you know, just more than making money. We need scale, otherwise no one listens to us. But at the same time, we want to help organizations who want to build fairer, more productive workplaces for inclusion, engagement. And we remain committed to this, committed to this 18 years after we started up as we did on the day. Our upcoming Business Leaders Index will look at 10 years of the data we've had and what's changed around gender and ethnocultural representation in the FTSE 350, and to make sure that we're getting the right impact. You know, we've also been encouraging and supporting our networks and internal teams to take steps forward, meaningful changes for intersectional inclusion, but never forgetting the importance of race and never substituting it for social mobility or some other prison. You know, it's really important that we tackle the problems, not just kick them back into the long grass for the next generation. In recognition of the week and the next month, you know, we've decided to put an offer out to the Lead the Change attendees. It's 10% of a single executive search and 15% of multiple executive searches to leverage that. The initial meeting has to be in the next month, and you know, the role has to be obviously something that we can do, something that you want us to do. But that's where we're doing. We put our money where our mouth is. We're delighted to be part of this. And Javed, I think I just caught up 3 minutes on our behind schedule.
Great, thank you. Right, moving on. Right, so we'll go to our first breakout session. This session will be around 12 minutes, in which leaders, you'll have 2 minutes to share your career tips. This will not be recorded, and it is a safe space. This is a first, and we're going to give it a go. So it's to try to do things differently to create change. So please kindly go with the flow and roll with any bumps along the way. And can I say, as leaders, please lead the way. So here's how it works. Firstly, someone volunteers to be a chair. So when you go in the room, someone press the heart button, which is at the bottom on your reactions. So you'll be volunteering to be the chair. You manage to, I said, we'll allow sort of 12, 13 minutes for it. So all leaders contribute, typically allowing a leader 2 minutes to speak. Next slide, please. Leaders, there's going to be approximately, we think between 3 to 5 per group. And how do we know who a leader is? If you enter the room as a leader, please put your virtual hand up. Okay, you can see at the bottom again, reactions. Press the reactions smiley face at the bottom, you can see, and then you'll have a hand. So this will help the chair know who the leaders are that want to speak. Next slide, please, or next bit. Yeah, next slide. Right, so chairs will ask you to speak, so they take it in turns. You share your career tips and advice and guidance, and then keep to allocated time if you can, typically around 2 minutes, and the chair will manage that. Next bit. So change makers in the group, basically, depending how many leaders you've got in your group, if there is a bit of time and the leaders haven't got anything else to add, feel free to ask any questions. And again, by putting your virtual hand up, and the chair will manage that. So there may be a minute or so at the end that you might be able to ask questions. And then basically everyone in the group, you'll get a 1 minute warning we're coming to the end of the session. So hopefully that's okay. Can I just see, did everyone see can everyone see the slides on the screen? Yeah, most people can. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so if we go into our first group, and this is basically, next slide, please. So this is actually where the leaders will go into you go into breakout. Remember, the chair press the heart, leaders put their hands up, and you've got 2 minutes to give career tips, ideas and advice to those in the room. So if we go, and then we'll see you in about 12 minutes. Thank you. Hi, everyone. So that was an interesting thing. So started off, I think, with 1 leader, and then by the end of the group, we got up to 5 leaders. So there they came out of the woodwork. The other thing is, when you go in your groups, someone just be bold and put your red heart on to chair the group. Anyone can chair the group. Yeah, it's just to help give everyone a chance. We understand a couple of people had problems with not speaking, so you might have to type it into the chat and let people know. Put your yellow hand up so people can sort of see. So hopefully the chair can help that. What we're now going to do is give you about 30, 40 seconds just to type in the chat tips, ideas, and insights for how to progress your careers or become future leaders, etc. So this is open. Don't worry about typos. Don't worry about spelling mistakes. That's fine. So just go into the chat. We will collate this, and then we'll anonymize it and share it with everyone, so everyone can get to see what people have been saying is how to progress your careers. Okay, so great one coming through. Don't be get a mentor. Don't be afraid of change. I had a great one now, says, put yourself forward. Don't expect for people to serve you. You create your opportunities. Ask for feedback. So lots going through mentorship. Get buy-in, networking, be proactive. So there is a mixture of culture change in organizations to allow, but also we have to put ourselves forward. Proactive's coming up quite a lot. So I'll give it another sort of like 20 seconds. As I said, we'll collect this so you can all get it. So at the end of this, we'll all get careers, tips and advice on that from a whole range of people. Thank you. So that's coming. If we go on to our next session, is about how leaders and their organizations are tackling race inequality. So to set the scene, our next set of change makers come from the NHS Business Authority. Please unmute yourselves, Michael and Samuel. Michael Brodie is the CBA. So Michael Brodie, CBE, is the chief exec, and Samuel Ubanatu is data warehouse ETL developer and shadow board member and co-chair of their BAME colleague network. Thank you both for joining us today and giving us your time. If we can spotlight Michael and Samuel. Michael, we heard actually from Samuel for the first time at a previous event that you yourself have been very active when it comes to tackling race inequality. And one thing you've done is create a shadow board. So what is a shadow board?
Yeah, thank you. And that's really kind of Sam to say that, and a measure of the kind of man Sam is. So yeah, I'm going to say a few words about the shadow board, but before I do, can I just put it into context? Because programs like this count as nothing if you don't get your culture right. They count as nothing if you don't align what you believe and what you value with what you say, and most importantly, with what you do. And that takes a bit of leadership. So with that said, and amongst a range of other activities like anti-racism training, diverse recruitment panels, ethnic minority leadership development programs, we launched our shadow board about a couple of years ago. So we recognized that we needed to support aspiring leaders into senior leadership roles, and in particular recognized we needed to do more to be representative of the communities that we serve and that we come from, particularly BAME leadership. And we know that we still do need to do more. So what was the shadow board, I guess, is the key question. So what is the shadow board? So we select 8 colleagues for a 2-year term, 4 through open competition, and 4 ring-fenced roles representing our lived experience staff networks, so women, disability, neurodiversity, LGBTQ+, and our BAME colleagues. And our shadow board acts exactly like our main board. So they receive all board papers. We have a 3-hour shadow board meeting every month, the day before our main board. Our chair is present. I'm present as chief executive. Shadow board members review and critique the papers, as the main board does the following day. And they provide their insight and experience setting and managing the strategic direction of the organization. And every month, every meeting, 2 of them then join the main board and are key members of the main board. So what do I think the benefits have been? Very quickly, I think it's provided our non-executives with a broader connection to colleagues across the organization. It's provided a visible commitment and sets the tone to the organization that this matters. It gives shadow board members unfettered access to myself and to our chair. It's created a supportive community and network of talented colleagues. It's presented a profound and deep learning experience for our shadow board members, and about 50% of them have gone on to new opportunities either inside or outside the organization. But I think most importantly, it's without doubt improved the quality of our decision making due to the insight and enthusiasm of everyone involved. But I'll hand over to Sam, who will say how it's helped him personally.
Thank you, Michael. So my favorite thing about the shadow board really is the sponsorship opportunity. With this, you have an access to sort of a career mentor, a coach, and sort of that senior leader who can point you in the direction of the right opportunities. And then you also have development sessions where, you know, your next steps in your career are kind of discussed. There's also visibility and engagement, both internally and externally. You're engaged with the main board, you're engaged with the non-executive directors, you're engaged with this leadership team, this senior management team, even external stakeholders as well, and organizations. And finally, also the opportunity to be able to lead or co-chair one of the equality networks within the organization. And with this, it has helped to build my people kind of skills to be able to engage with others and support colleagues.
Thank you for sharing. Thanks for both. And there's we'll ask people later if they're interested to know more about the shadow board, and then we'll pick it up later. But I think key thing you said, Sam, is that people becoming visible. It gives people who are quite often hidden or a quiet voice the chance to shine. So thank you both, Michael and Samuel, for that. So back to you, the audience. So just if we so this is how your organization is tackling racial inequality and the part you're playing as a leader. So how is your organization tackling race inequality, and what part you be playing as a leader? So we just go quick through a reminder through the next of how this work. You'll go into a breakout. Can someone, as soon as you go in, press the red button to be a chair, and then basically leaders put your yellow hand up, and then the chair will manage it, and you'll have about 2 minutes to do that. So if there's time at the end, again, the rest of the those attending in that group can ask questions, and we'll give you a 1 minute warning. So to go into breakout now, you have again about 12 minutes, how your organization is tackle racial inequality and the part you're playing. So please go into your groups. Thank you, Sam. So as per last time, if we could just share in the chat what organizations are doing that is, tackling race inequality and making a difference. So we want to hear things that, from your own organizations is making a difference. Again, don't worry about typos. Do it in bullets, whatever's simple. We capture it, we'll clean it up, and we'll anonymize it so we can capture it. But in our group, there were some great ideas of things people doing, especially real stories and sharing stories, looking at different intersectionality in how people feel they belong in an organization and pay gaps. So if you could just throw in the chats, we'll give you about just about a minute for that. Yeah, I said the more you contribute, the more we can all get and share afterwards. Yeah. And this is all yours for free, yeah? See people saying 10,000 interns, inspiring role models, taken by Race Equality Week. So well done. So it's gone too quick. Intersectional pay gap, encouraging colleagues to share their protected characteristics. We got a new tool solution. If you go onto our website, it's a data belonging and inclusion tool that might be interesting. Over 70%, 75% of colleagues do contribute to that and soon we'll be able to benchmark between sectors. Okay, so thank you. So on to our final session, and then we're going to hear another example of what leaders can do to tackle race inequality. So huge welcome to our speakers, Alex Sidgreaves, and Uzma Ahmed Stratton from Zurich Insurance. Please unmute yourselves and can we have a spotlight on them. Uzma is a dedicated advocate for D&I and is also chair of, actually, I've just been in a group with a CAN, which is the Cultural Awareness Network. Alex leads the UK's organisation Data Strategy and is also co-chair of the Cultural Awareness Network. During Race Equality Week last year, Zurich implemented the Big Promise, and we want to know sort of how did you go about implementing it and what impact has it made? So over to you, Alex. And Uzma, sorry.
Well, I can get started.
Yeah, thank you.
So hi everyone. Firstly, I'm really excited to be able to share with you the progress that we have made as a part of Big Promise that was launched in 2023. At Zurich, we are committed to promoting race equality and creating that diverse and inclusive workplace. And as a part of Race Equality Week last year, we launched our very own internal Big Promises, written specifically for our business. The aim here was looking at how do we encourage our exec members, our senior leaders and people leaders to set personal commitments toward race equality, but also that kind of inclusive piece within our organization. And I suppose from our point of view, to raise awareness and engage our people, we actively promoted Race Equality Week and organised a series of events. One of the highlights for me was an in-person panel session featuring people from multiple industries who explored why race matters, not only to them, but how can we explore that further from a kind of race equality perspective within Zurich. And additionally, we organised internal fundraising activities to actually support Race Equality Matters and initiatives to dedicate to promoting race equality, but also included promoting and joining in that kind of 5-day challenge. These activities not only raised funds, but also provided an opportunity for our people to engage with each other on the topic of race, and the outcome was phenomenal. The response was fantastic. And finally, I suppose from this year's perspective, we revisited the promises that were made last year through a series of short videos from our exec, our senior leadership group and people leaders talking about their actions and the impactful outcomes that they've seen by pledging that, I suppose, that big promise last year. I suppose that's kind of from our perspective in terms of what we've done, and I'll hand over to Alex.
Thanks, Uzma. So Race Equality Week was a really fantastic way for us to engage our employees and highlight our continued commitment to the cause of race equality. So we in Zurich, we firmly believe that by working together, we can create a workplace where everyone feels valued, respected and included regardless. We had 439 people, managers, sign up to make a personal commitment towards race equality, which is a real testament to our collective commitment to creating a more inclusive workplace. A direct impact, we had lots of promises, I think it was 4 per group, but a direct impact for our specific promises, so a real drive towards reviewing and ensuring that our hiring practice were as inclusive as possible. which has helped us to massively attract a more diverse range of candidates and has further strengthened our commitment to promoting race equality. Moreover, and quite excitingly, we had over 20 senior leaders sign up for reverse mentoring. These are people that hadn't previously been reverse mentored. And some of the feedback from them has been really interesting and really exciting and really honest. So this initiative helped our leaders to gain such a better understanding of the experiences and challenge faced by employees from diverse backgrounds. It helped break down barriers, allow people to have conversations they otherwise would have avoided, creating such a greater awareness and understanding across our organisation. In addition, our exec members were delighted to be involved in a number of mentoring activities, so both through Kickstart Mentoring and ICANN, which allowed us to extend beyond Zurich as an organisation and into the wider community. This year, we're really excited. We're going even bigger. We've introduced promises for all employees, so not just our people leaders, alongside our regular tea break sessions to enable the conversations and awareness to continue throughout the year. We really believe as a CAN group that those lived experiences have such an impact on our organisation and really on that understanding. So Race Equality Week for us was a real catalyst for our organisation. It reinforced the concept that if everyone engages and enacts in even small change, that will result in such a more inclusive workplace, and it can make a real huge difference to our organisation and our wider society. So thank you for listening to us.
Thank you both. And like they touched upon, I'm going to say all the solutions are brilliant, but I haven't said that because they were built by the community. And these solutions are what will help tackle race equality in organizations. And I can generally say I've never heard a single bad bit of feedback from any organization that's run one of the solutions, and you can adapt it as you see fit. So do look out to them, and thank you for Alex and Uzma for sharing. You know, this, and again, the impact it's having, and it's a journey to keep you on your way. So also thank you for fundraising for us last week. Yeah, we really appreciated it. Okay, so on to the final session, and this is the other way round now. This is where ethnically diverse change makers have a chance to talk. So basically, this is the chance for leaders to hear what do they need to do to tackle race inequality, because we appreciate some organizations, if you're ethnically diverse, you may not want to speak up. So this is where, you know, hopefully you're not going to go in a group where one of your leaders are, but you go into a group and then you just share what leaders need to do. Very similar, go into a group, someone be bold and brave, press the red heart thing to be the chair, manage it, give everyone a couple of minutes. And then again, if you're ethnically diverse change maker, put your hand, yellow hand up or brown hand if you've got that. And yeah, and then have 2 minutes, and we'll give you a 1 minute warning. So what do leaders, so this is our chance to tell leaders what we need you to do to tackle race inequality. Thank you, and see you on the other side. For those that come back, welcome back. If you can get ahead of the game, if you just want to, again, type in the chat things that you think leaders and organizations need to be doing to that will make a difference. Yeah, so we can pull this together and we'll share it with all leaders. You'll all get access to it, but can let leaders know this is what, you know, your ethnically diverse colleagues really need to see and feel. So as people are coming back, welcome back. I had a great group, lots of different perspectives and some commonality in what it's saying. But if we can all put in the chat your thoughts and ideas of what organizations and leaders need to do to make a difference. And people say, yeah, show up, you be there. And I guess I think someone in our group said, you know, leaders here today are showing that they, you know, that they buy into it versus I went to an event yesterday and, you know, all senior leaders turned up at the event for the whole hour and a bit, which is good. So if you could put in your chat your things, your thoughts, we'll collate this, we'll share this with leaders, and we'll share with each of you so you can sort of see what everyone else is saying could make a difference, and it'll help guide us. And like someone said in our group, it's not just about the doing, it's about measuring. Is it making a difference? Absolutely. Okay. What we'd like to do also now is, if we just conscious of time, I'm going to say that we're running out of time, so we're going to do a photo opportunity at the end for those that want to have their photo taken in the big group, which many of you may know about. But if we could just release the final poll, please, Sam. Thank you. Please, this would be really helpful for us to know what to do next, what's working, and whether we want to do this event again. Thank you all for taking part in the final poll. So the first question is, would you recommend today's event to others? So we can see, if you look at the yeses for leaders and not leaders, it's 44 and 44. So 88% are recommended the event. But if we break it down into the leaders, it's 87% of leaders would recommend the event, and it's 89% or not leaders would recommend the event. So you're really close to the 90% mark, which is fantastic, considering it's the first time we did it. And yeah, no one knew how it was going to go. Question 2. Was it helpful to hear from our speakers? And it's 93% saying yes. And the further 7% say not sure, but it's great. Thank you very much to our five fabulous speakers. So thank you. Question 3, did you hear or learn anything new today? So from a mixed audience of leaders and non-leaders, 90% are saying yes, which is fantastic, which leads us to question 4. Is anything you heard or learnt anything that you will look to use? So 71% saying yes, and then a further 11% they would if they had authority. So we can say 82% heard or learnt something that they would look to use going forward. Question 5, in comparison to other diversity and inclusion events, how valuable would you rate today's events? So more or significantly more valuable is 58%. And then if we look at same, more or significantly more valuable, it's 95%. So that's fantastic. And thank you to the speakers and all of you for contributing to each other. How did you find the breakout sessions, the lengths? So 40% just about right and 43% too short. So that's partly my fault because we had to cut some down because we were overrunning a bit. But it's good to know that you wanted a bit more and that's something we look to do going forward, and only 1% saying too long. So fantastic. Question 7, during Race Equality Week, what is your organisation taking part in? So 56% saying the 5-day challenge and 15% the big promise, and 28% of you are doing your own events. So it's good to see what's happening there. Number 8, would your organisation like to join the Race Equality Matters membership? So 24% saying yes and 68% saying not sure. Only 8% saying no. So we'd like to reach out to the not sures to find out how we can help. But maybe it's because you don't know enough about it, which we appreciate, and further comms will come. Would your organisation be interested in joining a shadow board workshop? You're hearing from the wonderful NHS Business, Michael and Samuel. So 35%, so 1 in 3 of you would like to know, and a further 55% not sure. Again, if we look to create something around this, we'll come back to you on that. Question 10, please indicate which of the following may be of interest. So going into a higher order. So 41% finding out more about the Race Equality Matters Jobs Board, 42% the new Race Equality Matters Inclusion and Belonging Survey tool, and then 34% of you inputting into future Race Equality Matters solutions and insights. So we will reach out to you all going forward. Which of the following would your organisation typically be willing to invest in? So 66% said insights and ideas to tackle key race themes, 47% mini videos of expert speakers, which we've got lots of that, great quality speakers, and then 41% exclusive thought leadership events. So, and then 31% how to implement a Race Equality Matters solution workshop. And we'd be looking to do one for the newest solution, It's Not Micro, very soon. So thank you all for completing that and helping us out. And on to the next bit. So firstly, we will say thank you for bearing with us on this. We're trying something, so which leads us neatly into the next section, which is Trailblazers. So we were trailblazing on this, and Trailblazers is more than the award. Basically, there's 4 types of you get Trailblazers for running a Race Equality Matters solution, and it's not just running it; it's showing it's made a difference. Next slide, please. Then there's four stages also for Trailblazer. You can get bronze, silver, gold, or platinum. You start off at bronze. And all the Trailblazers are decided and judged by not by the Race Equality Matters team, a community of ethnically diverse colleagues throughout the whole country, different backgrounds, all in sectionality in their different sectors, different ages, etc. Next slide, please. So here's some of the Trailblazers from the past. Next slide, please. Another set of the Trailblazers from the past. Another set of the Trailblazers. Now, if you go on our website, you'll see their case studies, and it says what they did and the impact it made. So again, it might be something you'll get. And don't forget, everyone that's voted for this are ethnically diverse and said these deserve to make it. It's roughly 61% of applicants get it, so it's quite a robust system and process. Next slide, please. So what we'd just like to do is call out and recognise the judging panelists. Thank you.
Race Equality Matters Trailblazer Judging Panelists Wave 4. Shashi Sharma, Nifa Nessa, Zanelli Shumba, Innocent Atunu, Lisa Amper, Angela Liu, Rav Shaw, Elizabeth Fergus, Paveen Yakub, Nassali Douglas, Genevieve Agbanji, Olu Abafay, Kareen Murray,
Sadia Hussein Savuk,
Narendra Gosha, Katrina Corton, Sophia Kukaswadia, Anika Nihal, Kamika McLean, Haruk Sandhu, Samina Ansari, Andre Johnson, Mike Fisher, Anna Barbosa, Richard Donetto, Judeline Nicholas, Samantha Hostin,
Aaron Verma, Audrey Roy, and Manish Tayal. Thank you all.
So these are the people from different backgrounds, different experiences that have decided they are anonymized applications, and they judge them independently, and then we collate it all, etc. like that. So next slide, please. What they did say. So what we'll now do is announce the successful trailblazers for this current wave, and the next wave we did it once a year from now on. So the next wave is now live and be open till end of March. If we just show the successful trailblazers for this year, or just gone, thank you.
Race Equality Matters Trailblazers, Solution Trailblazer, hashtag my name is, Northwest Ambulance Service, NHS Trust,
Bronze Trailblazers,
The Gym Group,
Northwest Ambulance Service, NHS Trust,
Cadent Gas, Northumbria Police,
Severn Trent Water,
NHBC,
Start Easy Solutions,
North Tyneside Council, Kaplan International Pathways, United Lincolnshire Hospitals NHS Trust,
Huddersfield Student Union,
Lambeth Council, and Brown Foreman. Congratulations to all of these amazing trailblazers.
So these are organisations that have done something and it's made an impact on the ethnically diverse colleagues and the whole organisation. So here's a whole range of trailblazers. So there's a couple of white spaces. You get your logos on there. There you are. So it's open now, and you get feedback from the judges, all anonymous. Thank you for that. A couple of things that to be aware of, though, for the judges. Next slide, please. 81% said it encourages organisations to keep momentum going, and 75% of the judges says it encourages organisations to up their game, so to keep that momentum going up again. But importantly, next slide, for many organisations, 81% it improves an organisation reputation with its customers, and 88% it improves the attraction of more diverse talent applying for jobs. So we know all our judges said they will, in the future, if they're going to look at a job, they will see, has this organisation got trailblazer status? So some fantastic reasons to get involved. Wave 5 is now open. So again, go onto our website and find out more about it. I'll hand you back to Raj, our Lead the Change Sponsors Group part, to wrap up today's event within about a minute. Thank you.
Thanks, Jarvin. Tomorrow's the end of the Race Equality Week. It's a great opportunity to celebrate and reflect on the week with others. I hope you can join us. Do take advantage of our 40% discount on our jobs board. The discount is available till Sunday. We have another new solution that would help accelerate tackling intersectional inequality. It's a new inclusive belonging survey tool. Please let us know if you're interested in that. Remember, it doesn't end with Race Equality Week. It's the start. It's a place for pause and reflection. So do check out our free solutions if you haven't done so already, and keep your supply chain honest. If they say they do something about diversity and inclusion to help you, let's see the impact, let's see the evidence, let's see the changes in behaviours and lived experience. Don't let people amplify their aspirations at your expense. If your organisation would like to donate or sponsor to our future events or become a partner, please do get in touch, and no shame in asking for help. This is to help us going, it's to help us continue being able to do what we're doing. I know some of you have already kindly donated, so thank you. And a huge thank you to our key partners. A big thank you to our wonderful speakers, John Neal from Lloyds, Michael Brodie and Samuel Ubuntu from NHS Business Authority, Alex Tidgrave and Umza Ahmed Strathern from Zurich Insurance. Finally, we can't change the past, but united, we can change the future and make it everyone's business to deliver on corporate promises in these areas. Get everyone to listen, act, change, Thank you for your time today, and please do have a positive rest of the remainder of Race Equality Week, and wherever possible, be kind and take care of each other. Thank you for your time today.